All right, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth, and we're here today, February 24th, 2015, and we are here to break down the mega fight that was signed for May 2nd, 2015. If you haven't heard yet, it's Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao, finally after 6 years of trying to get this fight done. And today, we're actually going to break it down with well-known boxing trainer Peter Manfredo Sr. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good. Glad to be on your show.
Thank you, and I'm glad to have you. I know you're well talented. You've had a lot of fighters under you, including your son Peter Manfredo Jr. You got prospect Toka Cleary coming up. You got I know you've worked with tons of other fighters. I mean, we could be listing them all day. But we want to talk about these two main fighters. Everybody's been waiting for this fight, and they finally signed it. So I just want to break down real quick, if people aren't aware, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 47 wins, 26 knockouts, no losses. Manny Pacquiao is 57 wins, 38 knockouts, 5 losses, 2 draws. He's number 2 in the world. Mayweather's number 1 in the world. It's about time we're seeing fights with number 1 and number 2 fighting each other finally. Do you agree?
That's exactly what I've been waiting for, and so is the rest of the people in the U.S. I agree.
Okay, now, they've, like, all those fights that both of them have had, they've only had 5 opponents the same out of their entire careers, and I just want to go over those real quick. Now, they've had Manny Pacquiao fought Miguel Cotto, and he TKO'd him in the 12th round. Floyd Mayweather fought Miguel Cotto, and it was a unanimous decision in the 12th round. Manny Pacquiao fought Shane Mosley, unanimous decision. Floyd Mayweather, same thing, unanimous decision against Shane Mosley. Manny Pacquiao fights Ricky Hatton, KOs him in the 2nd round. Floyd Mayweather fights Ricky Hatton, TKOs him in the 10th round. Manny Pacquiao fights Oscar De La Hoya, retires him in the 8th round. De La Hoya goes to a split decision with Mayweather. And then, of course, everybody knows Manny Pacquiao has fought Juan Manuel Marquez 4 times. Draw the 1st time, split decision 2nd, majority decision the 3rd, and then he got KO'd in the 6th round to take a loss. And Mayweather has only fought Marquez 1 time, and it was a unanimous decision in the 12th. So I just want people to understand the 5 opponents and the differences of how both of them have won. And then now I want to get to their strengths and their weaknesses. In your opinion, because like I said, you're very well versatile in different skills of fighters and personalities. And anybody that knows these two individuals knows they are completely different personalities in the ring and outside the ring. They have completely different fighting styles. Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw. Obviously, they're from 2 different countries as well. But so let's start out with power. Who do you think has the more power, Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather?
Well, I would say possibly Manny Pacquiao, but neither one of them have knocked anybody out in a while. So I don't know if the power is going to make much of a difference. But they're both superior fighters. I mean, Manny Pacquiao throws hard, he throws plenty. There's going to be a lot of shots landed. Mayweather is difficult to hit, but he is going to land plenty of shots also. He's difficult. But this is going to be the fight everybody's going to wait for.
Okay, so on speed, who would you give the advantage to on speed?
Well, that's kind of close too, but I would say the Floyd.
Okay. Now, who do you think has the better footwork in the ring? Who can move faster? Who can cut off the ring better?
Well, I think Pacquiao, because he moves all the time. He's aggressive. He's always stepping out to the outside of the front hand, and Roach works with that a lot. And Floyd kind of just stays right there, but it's difficult. It's going to be a difficult fight. This is going to be a tough fight. They're both going to get hit. And it's going to go down. It's going to go down for a decision, I think.
Okay, and who do you...
they both have great footwork. Getting back to that, I can't say... it's kind of hard to say who's got better footwork. Because you can't say Manny Pacquiao, then you think about Floyd, who's one of the best ever. Then you go back and you say, well, it's Floyd, and you think about Manny Pacquiao, about how good he is, and how good his footwork is. Because he really just got clipped when he got knocked out by Marquez at the end. He just jumped in. And, he was really whipping Marquez's behind that fight, But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm curious in this fight, though, who do you think is going to bring the pressure, though? Who do you think is going to pressure this fight?
Oh, Pacquiao's going to come forward. I think he's going to come forward. I mean, Roach, you can't beat an undefeated champion just think that you're going to stay outside and run and try to all-box him. I don't think Roach is going to do that. Roach is going to go, he's going to go for a win. They're going to go for it. He's going to be the aggressor. And not that Floyd's going to run. He'll stay there and they're going to just battle it up. But Floyd will get hit more than he's normally getting hit.
Okay. So you think Floyd will basically do what Floyd does in every fight? He'll be the counter puncher. He'll let Manny come to him. He'll go off of his shots. But in a roundabout way, even though he's going backwards, you think Mayweather will still try to control the fight?
I think Mayweather's going to stay back in counter, correct? Yeah, but who knows? I mean, you don't really know what they're going to work on. But that's the way he's been fighting. That's the way he gets hit less. So I would think, and he's been extremely effective with it. He hasn't lost yet. So I would think that he would do the same. Why would he change it? What he's been doing has been so successful at for the time he's been in the game.
And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Obviously, you probably think then Mayweather obviously has the better defense. I mean, the guy's undefeated. He doesn't get hit as much as Pacquiao does.
He's a tremendous defense. I mean, that's obvious. But this fight, he will get hit more. I mean, Roach is a genius.
Okay, now...
And Pacquiao and Roach have been working together for years, and they're extremely successful. So they're going to bring in guys that simulate Pacquiao's style, and they're going to try to both take advantage of any openings that Freddie thinks that he can get to. And Freddie will find him.
Okay, now, like I said, we named a few names that they've both fought, and they've both fought other great fighters as well. I mean, we can talk about that all night, but when you go down the whole list of resumes on both of them, who do you think overall has fought the better competition?
I think better competition, I'd say it'd be mostly about the same. I mean, they fight, well, maybe Pacquiao. Pacquiao in there. I think it's close. Everything is so close with this fight. Pacquiao's gonna have to, he pull a rabbit out of his hat for this one. I think. I don't know.
Do you?
If there's anybody that can do it, it'll be Pacquiao and Roach. Because Roach is a genius. I think that's where Pacquiao has the advantage. Because I think Roach is so intelligent when it comes to boxing. Not to say that the Floyd Mayweather scene is not intelligent, but Roaches are far above them guys, to me anyway, my opinion.
Okay, now you just mentioned earlier that you think this is going to go down to a split decision, but so you don't believe neither one of them? Do you believe neither one of them's got enough power to knock the other one out?
Yeah, I do believe they have enough power to knock them out. It's extremely hard to hit. Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, excuse me, I'm sitting somewhere at a bar. It's extremely hard to hit him, and when he's going to get hit. And, Pacquiao takes a good shot unless he rushes in. And Floyd has that speed and that quickness and his timing is tremendous. But I don't think Pacquiao will run in. They're going to systematically pick up a game plan, whatever Roach figures out, and then they'll stick to it. Because I've been around Roach, I know how he does it. And he's like I said, he's a genius. He knows ways. He's been around the best. He's trained the best.
Okay, so let me ask you.
He'll find it.
So let me ask you then, from your point of view as being a boxing trainer, I want to play devil's advocate for a minute, and I want to put you in that situation. So if you're in Manny Pacquiao's corner on May 2nd, what's your game plan to beat Floyd Mayweather if you're the trainer?
I would be aggressive. I go to the body as much as I can because I think with that roll, when he rolls that shoulder, you leave the backside of that liver, that kidney open on the backside. I would rip right hooks to that backside and bring the left uppercut through the middle, and and stay to the outside of his front shoulder. And he plays these games with Coach plays these games with Pacquiao, whereas somebody will jab a right-handed jab, he steps to the outside and shoots the left body, and then brings that right hand hook to the body, and brings it back up to the head. So he stays out of the middle of, he stays away from Floyd's right hand by doing that, and he puts his hook into play that much more. He'll hook the body, he'll hook the head. Although he might not hit the head as much, but he starts breaking the body down from the outside, hitting the back of it, because he's rolling into it. So you can't say he's going for the kidney if he's rolling into it. I mean, I'm sure that, and then that's why I like him to come back with that left uppercut instead of that left straight shot, because that uppercut might get through a little bit easier with that type of defense that Mayweather puts up there.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch it to the other corner. If you're in Floyd Mayweather's corner and you're the trainer on this fight against Pacquiao, what do you do? What's the game plan?
Floyd Mayweather is going to use his speed. He's going to use that defense. He's going to counter him, and he's going to grab, tie him up, turn him, step out, push him away, start again, make him start all over again. Because if he gets there and he stays against that ropes, then he's going to give this guy more of a shot to hit that body. But Mayweather's slick, and Mayweather's slick. Mayweather's fast. Mayweather's accurate, and he's got some pop with that speed. I mean, he hasn't knocked anybody off a while, but if you stay out of your game and you start rushing in, you start jumping in, you add power to the other shot. You don't have to. The last thing you lose is that power. That shit is going to be tough, man. It's tough.
So
they're going to go at.
So do you believe that this fight is overhyped, or do you believe this is going to be a war to remember, like a Gotti and Ward or a Hagler and Hearns? Do you believe this will go down in history as a war?
So this is going to be like that Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier fight of the 70s. This is the fight. And people want to see it. People are looking for it. And like I said, unless Roach is slipping, which I don't think he is, they're going to have a great game plan. A great game plan. It's going to be a fight.
Okay, and
It's going to be worth the money.
before I ask you for your prediction, whoever loses this fight, should Amir Khan get the loser or the winner?
I think he should get the loser first. I think he's going to prove himself a little bit more. I don't think he's at that level. I mean, I've seen him train now. We got a wild card gym. I introduced him to Freddie Roach. A friend of mine he's talking to a friend of mine, Mark Vaz, how he knew I was out there training with my son, and he said to me, I'm going to send a guy out, introduce him to Freddie for me. He's going to come over there and live with me. Well, I did. And then the rest is history with him. He's been working with Freddie ever since. Well, no, not anymore, but I think he still needs to prove himself a little bit more. I don't think he's at that level with them two guys.
Okay, and I got one more question before I get your prediction from you. If Floyd Mayweather wins this fight, he will be 48-0. Do you think, in your opinion, that he should just fight two more, get undefeated at 50-0, and retire?
I don't know what Floyd Mayweather is up to, But yeah, he would go down as probably the greatest fighter ever if he did that. And he'll break Rocky Marciano's undefeated record. I mean, why would he want to go out as the greatest fighter? He's made the money nobody makes that money. I mean, nobody makes it, and no one's done what he's done. Yeah, I think he should. I mean, I think he will. He's smart. He's no fool. He knows what he wants. He knows the legacy he wants to leave behind. He knows what he's done. No one's going to do that ever. It'll be a long time. That's my lifetime, and probably most of the people that are listening to this interview, their lifetime until they see somebody who goes 49, 50, and retires and done what he's done.
Okay, so now after we've discussed the whole breakdown, who they've both fought, how you would corner both men, now I need you to take a second, and you're sitting and watching this fight. You already said to the crowd that you believe it's going to a split decision. Who gets the win?
Well, it's tough for me to go against my friend, and my friend is Manny Pacquiao. It's tough, but I don't know. I want to say a draw. But I think if it's a split decision, it'll probably go to the Floyd.
Well, like you say, you gotta beat the champion, you convincingly, and the guy's 47-0. He's the champion, so like you're saying, Pacquiao has to do something spectacular to win this fight. He's not gonna just get it, like you say, on a decision.
My prediction will be the Floyd. I mean, I love Freddie Roach because what I've been there, I've seen what he can do. I've seen his intelligence, his brilliance in the game. I've been alongside him. He's a good friend of mine. And if there's anybody that can come up with a game plan, it's definitely Freddie Roach. But, I mean, it's tough to go against the Floyd, man. He's probably one of the best, if not the best, of all time.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time and breaking down the fight with me. Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao, the mega fight, May 2nd, 2015. Everybody that can't make it, you better buy pay-per-view because you're not going to want to be talking about it on Monday and having all your friends at work telling you that you missed this great fight. Because like you just heard it here, this is going to be a war. This is going to be a fight to remember. So,
that's right. I agree.
All right, and the truth has spoken.